Kevin Sumlin is back with us. It's been a big day for he and his program. And, Coach, we were just looking at that 2015 schedule, and I bet that's going to be a big one for guys like Kyle Allen, Christian Kirk. And people shouldn't forget about another Arizona kid you have in the program, and Quaylen Cunningham. He was highly recruited. And those can be meaningful days for that trio when you get away from that home state and look who you're facing to open up a season, that group.
Yeah, it'll be great place to play, NRG Stadium. And one of the things we talked about in recruiting just across the board is we've got an opportunity next year to play in 3 of the finest football facilities in the country. NRG has had Super Bowls there, great place to play in Houston. Our stadium opening up with Ball State, as you said, 102.5 at least, and then up at AT&T. Yeah. So, 3 great venues, not only in the state but across the country, and our guys are excited to play.
Well, this day continues to roll along. I think at last check we counted 21 in, and that's including your early enrollees that were already on campus, and still expecting a few more faxes, but anything out of the ordinary, pretty much as you'd hoped so far?
Yeah, the way it's turned out is, you go down the wire on a couple guys, some you get, some you don't. We left some room in this class because we've signed a couple really good classes and left some room so that, if we got a couple guys, it'd be all right. If we didn't, we'll be able to count those scholarships forward because we only have 13 seniors graduating next year. And so we're going to need some holes to fill, maybe add a couple scholarships down the road for next year's class because, as I said, we've got to continue to build depth and talent, and I think we've done a really nice job of that this year.
Also, we've been introduced today to some of the newer members of your coaching staff. It's just not players that are arriving here in January and February of 2015. You got some new coaches, and as far as those guys hitting the ground running, getting their feet wet, getting a cohesive unit up there in the Bright Complex, is everything meshing well as you hoped with the new faces? Yeah,
there's been a lot going on ever since with the last game against LSU, since Thanksgiving weekend, and between recruiting players and coaches, trying to finish up today. We'll take a couple days off finally, probably tomorrow on Friday, and let these guys kind of get settled. Their families are coming in. John Chavis has got a lot of experience in this league, whether it was at Tennessee or LSU, and just a lot of great success, and will bring a different attitude, I think, defensively and philosophically what we're looking for. I know that the transition for him probably won't be as difficult as it is for Dave, because he was at Missouri for a long time and became a head coach at Wyoming, was at Utah. Everybody saw what they were able to do this year, and beating USC and having a great bowl game. So, there are 2 great additions, 2 guys who have a lot of experience, who have won a lot of games, who I think add not only football knowledge, experience, but a certain degree of toughness up front to our football team, which is what we need to get better in 2015.
When I think about the future, I want to go back just a little bit to December 28th in Memphis, Tennessee, what you told the team in the locker room after the Liberty Bowl win, which, as we all know by now, you're 3-0 in bowl games. This was the 4th consecutive postseason win for the program, and you talked about that, but you kind of challenged everybody coming back, and you'll challenge these new recruits. 8-5, and you guys did some good things, but I think the central message to that post-game speech was look for more next year and down the road.
Yeah, we're looking for more as coaches, but we got to look for more as players, and that started when we got back the 20th. We had a team meeting actually the 19th that night, and then Coach Jackson tested everybody for where they were strength-wise and running-wise, so we could get a baseline of where we are as a team. Really, this week has really been the first week of real strength and conditioning, really the last couple weeks. So we're on a 4-day-a-week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday lifting and strength and conditioning program we'll jump in their off-season program next week with a couple 6 a.m. workouts with these guys and 3-day-a-week lifting. So ramping it up this year from an intensity standpoint. We got 7 new players who are in the system. We played a lot of freshmen last year, and so this next couple weeks before we get to March 2nd to start spring football, this next month's going to be about strength and conditioning and physical and mental toughness, which is something we've got to improve on, particularly with the young team. The guys that have experience are going to be sophomores now and juniors. They're going to have to play like juniors and seniors.
Okay, the signing class just added another one a moment ago. That's Dwayne Thomas from Booty, Louisiana, and Hahnville High School. So that's a topic right there. Texas is your home state. You will recruit here, Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, all over the state, East Texas. I mean, you'll find them here, and you're ingrained with the high school head coaches here. But Louisiana, you cross that Sabine River and go a little bit east. There's some really good players, and Dwayne Thomas is the newest one.
Yeah, he's I tell you what, he's a little bit like our last year's last signee, who ended up starting at free safety in our bowl game with Armani. Dwayne's a guy who played very, very well, a guy that we kept an eye on. He got bigger and bigger as the season went on, and then you got down there at the end, and shoot, we're trying to hang on to him. I think the day that I was there early in the morning, Bob Stoops was coming there that afternoon, and I had to tell the coach, hey, just put Dwayne in your office and lock the door. Tell Bob go away. But there were a bunch of coaches coming in on this guy, and he's an example of we've got some guys that are 5-star guys, and then you've got a guy like Dwayne who's probably 2 or 3-star by recruiting rankings, but at the end of the recruiting process, he could have gone wherever he wanted to, and that's the kind of athleticism he brings to the table, and at a much needed position for us.
And as we look again somewhat to the future, but this is near future, I think it's 1 month from today you'll begin spring drills on March 2nd.
Amazing how that happens.
Yeah. Does it ever end?
Yeah, you look at the calendar, and like I said, what we're doing now, we'll jump back in as coaches, get with our players starting next week with actually some more football-related things based on the new rules, and some morning intensified workouts with our coaches being there and Larry doing his deal. But we'll get a good 4 weeks of that and a month of that, and then try to establish some more, as I said, mental toughness, discipline, physical toughness, and conditioning. Then get into spring football and actually work our drills and get the young guys, the guys who played better, and the guys who just showed up here, the 7 guys who are all talented players, get them involved and try to get them working. The high school guys, like I said, the guys who came here halfway through the year worked out for Speedy and Kyle Allen. So we've got a couple of those guys here now that are going to try to do the same.
All right, well, it's been a good day. It's not quite finished.
No.
We'll let you hit the Bright Complex, get around that fax machine again. That's the biggest piece of equipment in the program today, but we thank you for the time, and I hope the rest of the day goes well for you.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.